Hello, and welcome back to the Spoilercast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusty co-host, Rebecca.
Hello, and welcome to this Patreon exclusive.
Exactly. So if you're listening to this, thank you so much for supporting us. But enough of that. We're here to talk about Roadhouse. Not the remake, we already did that. We're going to talk about the original and the sequel to the original that you didn't know existed.
No.
Barely anyone does. Which one should we start with? Should we get because it's really about the original. Should we just get the sequel out of the way?
Sure.
It's
I mean, they're not really that connected, to be honest.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's technically his son, which feels like bullshit, but sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Roadhouse 2. And also, I mean, most people have seen Roadhouse, so...
Yeah, I guess.
It's not really like we're ruining anything by doing it in this order. Roadhouse 2. Last Call.
Yes.
From 2006, starring... I don't have the IMDb up.
Starring...
What's his name?
Jonathan Shish.
Shish! Yeah, exactly.
Ellen Holman, Richard Norton, Jake Busey, which is the only one I recognized, if I'm being honest. And a bunch of other people that I don't recognize at all. Really?
Yeah, it's a story of Dalton's son, which I'm guessing he had from before the original movie, though. Because this is only 16 years after the original movie, so it's not the lady from the original movie's son.
Though he never mentioned child or anything in the original.
Yeah, exactly.
But sure. He could be, I don't know. I was about to say illegitimate and like not known really, but that doesn't make sense because he didn't know about his son. Obviously, they talked about him growing up with him a little bit.
Yeah.
It didn't make. I think either I didn't understand it or there's like they fucked up the plot a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I figured Dalton died when Shane was a kid, and that's why he grew up with his uncle Nate.
Mm-hmm.
But
once again, doesn't. No, well, he was a police officer when he died.
Yeah, sure.
Because he was still living with his dad, but he was like in the police academy or even a police officer.
But
I don't know why he was still living with his dad. But
wasn't it Nate who trained him in that little montage of him as a kid?
I don't know if it's
they
Nate,
made it sound
his
like
uncle or
he grew up
dad,
with his uncle, but then the dude who killed his dad confessed to killing him when he was a cop. So he must have been an adult. It doesn't really add up in my eyes.
No, yeah, the plot is a little all over the place.
Well, the backstory specifically, but
yeah, and this is a direct to DVD like shameless cash grab. They just wanted to make some money off the name Roadhouse.
Yeah.
However, the movie is surprisingly decent, I would say. I don't know what you think. What did you think of the movie?
It's fine. Nothing special, really. The story is very... I feel like the remake took a lot of inspiration from this one as well, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they both kind of mirror the original.
Yeah. It was fine. I appreciated that we have a strong female, I guess. I don't know. It wasn't that fantastic. It felt kind of like a direct-to-DVD, except for some of the action, I guess, felt pretty good.
Yes, the first fight scene with Will Patton and Jake Busey's goons, it's not great. They're pretty rough. Like, they're not like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like super violent, but the hits feel like real. Or like they feel impactful,
except for the sound effects they added on top of it.
Yes, because it's like
sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. But then we don't have a lot of fight scenes, but the end fight scene, especially between the lady goon with a knife, and the love interest. I don't know anyone's name.
Barely me neither. Bo.
Bo, which is a cool name.
And the lady was Nadja, apparently, but I don't think they say her name.
They'll never say her name, yeah. She's the lady with the knife.
Yeah.
They go fucking ham.
Yes.
God damn, they fight and just they're fighting in the kitchen, and there's glass everywhere, throwing each other into the wall. They're like super fast with the kicks. It's like their fight is better than the Dalton, so to speak,
exactly, the dudes
and Jake
fight.
Busey fight. It's pretty good, but I mean, damn, they go all in with that girl fight. Basically.
Yeah,
which I enjoyed that. Like the last act of this movie is super entertaining.
Yes.
And like you said, yes, it feels very cheap because it probably was.
Probably.
It starts out terribly. It starts out like an expensive porno.
Yes.
Because there's like this awful little bar set in New York City. Yeah, sure, it's a room somewhere in like Kansas, probably.
Yeah.
And they have a DEA bust. And one of the agents is dressed up as a stripper, and she's like, "Hold on," and out of nowhere starts stripping for this guy.
Is an over exaggeration.
Well,
dressed down.
Dressed down. And they just start about, "Hey, we should have sex." Yeah, and she's like, "Oh no, I can't do." We don't even know who the guy is at that point.
No, I mean, we figured out he's the main character. That's it.
I guess, but I mean, if you don't know film structure, you're like, what is this? It just like, if they actually added actual sex to that scene, it would have just been a porno. Like,
definitely.
An awful little plot to just excuse the sex scene.
It also kind of felt like a cold open that could have just been some random dude until he got the call.
Yeah, exactly. But then, the Dalton guy, he's not called Dalton. What is he called?
Shane Tanner.
Shane Tanner, right. He goes to Louisiana? Yeah. Because his uncle, Nate Tanner, which I guess is Dalton's brother.
I'm guessing it's his mom's brother? Because of the change in last name and all that?
It could be, yeah. But then there's really no connection to Dalton anymore.
No, except for, like, they knew each other, obviously.
But, yeah, because
Dalton apparently lived there for a while, because everyone knew who Dalton was.
Yeah, exactly. He owns a bar, which some drug dealers want to buy, very, very much in line with the original. Because they want to, use it as a place of business, basically.
It's the perfect point between the what was it, the border and the city or something, so have like a drop off
some flimsy excuse to try to buy the place, but instead they start trying to like just take the place. So they attack Will Patton, Nate Tanner. So Shane goes down there to like help out. And classic. After that, it's more or less the original.
There's fights, there's kicking people out. There's no real like him teaching others, which I guess the first one didn't have as much as either. But I guess some of them get more confident.
Screen time. Yeah, exactly. He helps them to
build up
be
their
better
confidence.
at bouncing, basically.
We have this extremely unnecessary little sequence in the beginning of that where the twins from the poster just walk into the bar, and then they're not in the movie at all after that.
Yeah, it's cool to have on the. You can sell it because like, ooh, two sexy girls. I'll watch this movie.
Like we put them in the beginning of the bar sequence then, because then people will associate them with the bar, and it makes sense apparently.
Yeah. Another thing that really, really makes this or works against the movie is how ugly it is. Like the cinematography is awful. It really, really looks like a TV show, and that's a TV show from 2006. This is before, Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones changed how TV was. Technically, we had Sopranos, but Sopranos was still like it didn't really usher in this new era of TV that we got a few years later. It was the proto-modern TV show.
Yeah.
So this was still looking like, CSI or, ER.
But even worse like lighting. Because there's like actually no lighting in this, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, is my screen like pulled down with the lights, or what? Like, what did I do? Is it me? No, it's just terribly dark.
Yeah, it's just
a lot of
the
times.
show.
Yeah.
But like I said, despite that, the movie, first of all, it's very short.
Yes.
It's under an hour and 30, which is great.
Yes.
So there's no time to waste, really. At one point, I was like, oh no, they're going to have like a dumb... like. Of course, there's a love subplot.
Sure.
And there's a scene where they're about to, like, they're going to go out and they're going to go on a date. And I was like, oh, here we go. They're going to fill 10 minutes with them just sitting around, eating food, driving around, kissing, whatever. But then we actually do get some character development in that scene. That's where we find out how Shane's dad died and why he feels like he's responsible for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a way for them to set up that Shane, you know, he was supposed to go to the bar that night to help clean up after the last attack, but instead he goes on a date with the girl. So then the guys who are cleaning up his bouncers, they get attacked by the bad guys, and he wasn't there to save them. Just like we just found out that's how he feels when he wasn't there to save his dad when he got shot.
Yeah.
So it's like, the scene made sense. The scene had a purpose.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so good. So good.
That's the thing.
Everything makes sense.
The script is good. The story is fine. A little bit confusing, but at points. But most of it is pretty straightforward. Whatever happens, and it's everything has a reason, more or less.
Yeah.
However, it's the lighting, it's the camera work. I'm sorry, but the acting
isn't great. Yeah.
No, it's I understand why it's a straight to DVD kind of thing.
Yeah.
Though this could have worked if they had better actors, if they had more money to put on it.
Yeah, if they spent more money on it, it could have been a decent action movie.
Yeah.
I mean, this came out a year after the Walking Tall remake with The Rock, which is
right, yeah.
Yeah, people don't remember the movie. That's a great little action movie. The people don't remember. I don't know. It's actually 2004, so 2 years after.
Okay, fine, but still,
it's the same era.
It's in the wake of.
Yeah, the same like a mid-budget PG-13 action movie. This is probably though, since it isn't only DVD, it's not really PG-13. There's a lot of blood and stuff, but you could have made it that, and it would still work.
Yeah.
And then also, this is just a little, just a little detail, like what makes the writing good. Not all the time, but it's just a little detail. The main bad guy, Jake Busey, Wild Bill.
Yeah.
He's of course controlled by the bigger guy who works, he lives in Florida, and like, you said you were gonna fix Louisiana for me, but you haven't, so now I'm coming down to take care of this. And he's kind
of right? Yeah.
Yes, he's kind of, bossing him around. And at one point, and he takes this as a shot to his pride that he can't take care of this himself. So at one point, after they've ruined the bar there when everyone got shot, there's a scene, where he's still like making fun of him, and he has this moment where he's like, "Oh, damn you, my boss! If only, And he says, "This is my town. This is my bar," he says. And then he picks up, because the bar is called the Black Pelican, and they have this big stone pelican. And he picks it up and says, "This is my pelican," and places it back where it stands to show that I don't care about you. I'm going to fix this. In the end fight, they fight on the second floor. I think it's the office.
Yeah.
And Shane kicks Wild Bill, through a window, and he falls and gets impaled on the pelican.
Yeah.
Very poetic. It's just like, it's not like a big thing, but just that detail, because he was so hell bent on getting this bar, it's mine.
Yeah.
And then in the end, it kills him. Oh,
nice touch.
Yeah, and especially in a movie that otherwise is so formulaic, so simple, just to add that little touch, like, wow, who did that, and why didn't you do that with the rest of the movie?
No, that was just a random thought they had, like, oh, wouldn't that be cool? And they didn't even realize the whole, symbolism of it.
He literally placed the pelican there.
Yeah.
Wow, foreshadowing. Anyway, that's our little exploration of Roadhouse 2. Last Call.
Yeah.
Not a great movie, but honestly, I think I'd rather rewatch that than the remake. First of all, because it's half an hour shorter. And it's not vomit-inducing in the cinematography.
Yeah.
There's no wide-angle lenses where everything happens in the middle. Anyway, that's enough about Roadhouse 2.